Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about self-tanners, and this is something that I've wanted to do for quite some time because I do have quite a bit of tanning products that I want to share with you guys and let you know my thoughts and which I think is not only the best but the best value. So which one are you going to get your money's worth and really feel like you paid for a great product? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you are new to my channel and you like videos just like this one, beauty, fashion, lifestyle, all sorts of things, definitely be sure you are subscribed down below and give this video a big thumbs up so that I know you like it. Let's just get into talking about these self-tanners. So basically I have 5 brands here to talk about today. I actually tested each one of these on my leg to kind of see like how each of them performed next to each other. That way we could really get a good idea of the undertones in each of them and how long they lasted and what they looked like. So that's what we did, and I will be sharing those clips throughout like this video included with my talking, so you guys will see all of that as well. Wait until the end to see my final verdict. For now, we are just going to start with the most expensive to the least expensive. We're gonna start with a brand called Tan-Luxe, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Basically, this brand sells illuminating self-tan drops, and as far as I know, I think this is kind of the first brand that came out with these self-tan drops. So when it first came out, it was very intriguing. Everyone was like, oh my god, you can just add these drops to your lotion, it's like amazing, like I'm gonna be instantly tan, blah blah blah. So I picked up the body version and the face version, so I will tell you what I think about each of them. But first, let's talk about the price. The body drops, which is what we used in this video for comparison, these retail for $59 for basically 1.7 fluid ounces. That's kind of a lot, and I knew it was expensive, but I mean, you know, that's kind of a lot. And it says apply 2 to 6 drops per body part, which again is kind of a lot. If you want that same dark look that a lot of the other self-tanners give you, you're probably going to want to use 6 drops of this per body part. That ends up being quite a bit, and you don't get that much of it. As far as my thoughts on the tan that this product actually gives you, I really don't see it having much of an undertone. You can see in the comparison clips that I will show, it didn't really make much of a difference compared to the other ones. I could see the other ones on my leg in blocks, but this one I couldn't even see, which part of that is because I had to blend it in because it was lotion, so I couldn't just do like a block, if you know what I mean, because you do just add the drops into your lotion. But then again, I didn't see like a noticeable difference, which concerned me for the price. To me, this would be more of a product that is like a gradual tanner. So you would use it like almost every day, just like 1 or 2 drops in your lotion when you apply it, and maybe you would eventually get like a gradual tan from the product. But as far as like, oh, I just want to be tan for tomorrow, I'm gonna put this on at night, blah blah blah, I don't think this is your best option as far as value or the end result look for your tan. As for the face drops, I do like these a little more, but these retail for $49 for 1 fluid ounce. So again, pretty pricey. And again, I got this one in the medium dark, but I like this one a little more because drops just make more sense for your face. I don't really want to put a mousse all over my face or a lotion or tanning water or anything like that. So the drops just make a little bit more sense for me when it comes to my face. So I love just adding these to my moisturizer, especially if I'm on vacation. I'll just do this every single day, and when you're not wearing makeup, your face kind of gets that same tan that your body has when you necessarily don't want to tan your face in the sun. So I do think these are a little bit more worth it to me than the ones for your body. But those are my thoughts on them. I just exfoliated in the shower with an exfoliating like body scrub. All right, so for this one, I'm just taking this little bit of lotion, and then I will do 2 drops of the tanning drops. Alrighty, so with those you obviously can't see anything. We'll just have to check back once they've developed. But I put the tanning water here and the lotion kind of all right here because that's kind of hard to, you know, maneuver that. Over on this leg, you can't really tell much of anything. You can see a little bit right here of the tanning water. But as far as the lotion, you can't really see a difference. So as you can see, compared to the tanning water, I couldn't really see a difference or like a block. As I said before, that could just be because it is in a lotion, so I did have to kind of rub it in. But in my opinion, it is just kind of more of like a gradual tan sort of thing. Alrighty, the next most expensive product that I'm going to be talking about today is by Loving Tan. I'm sure you guys guessed it, like this is the most talked about self tanner out there. I feel like it retails for $40 per 4 ounces. I have loved Loving Tan for quite some time now. First, let's start with the undertone. So let me just put these up close because you can see where I've used them. You can kind of see the undertones of these two products, and the reason I have two here to show you, I'm going to be talking about both of these. So first we just have the Deluxe Bronzing Mousse by Loving Tan, and this is in the ultra dark shade. This is the darkest one that they make, and with this one it says shower after 6 hours to reveal a sexy natural tan, whereas this one, this is their 2-hour express product, and it is in the shade dark. They don't have their, correct me if I'm wrong, last time I checked they did not have their 2-hour express in the ultra dark shade. So with this one, I'm sure you can guess that you can shower 2 hours after you apply your tan. And I'll get into my opinions on which one I prefer in a little bit, but as you can see, these kind of have two very different undertones. So the 2-hour express, you can see, is very green. The ultra dark is green still. I mean, you can see a little bit, but it is more like green mixed with a red, like warm undertone. A few of the things that I love about Loving Tan. Number one, it is extremely natural looking. It doesn't make you look orange at all. It dries really quickly once you put it on, so I feel like when they say you can get dressed 60 minutes or 60 seconds after you apply it, I do think that's very accurate, and it doesn't transfer onto my clothes immediately. It also transfers way less on my sheets than some of these other products that I'm going to talk to you about today. I find that Loving Tan, as long as I'm wearing long pants and long sleeves to bed, I really don't have any color showing up on my white sheets afterwards. So that to me is pretty great because I sleep with mine overnight, whether it's the 2-hour express or the ultra dark. For me, it's just easiest to put it on at night, sleep on it, and shower in the morning, and that is how I find I get the darkest, most natural, most long-lasting tan that I can. As far as the 2-hour express versus the ultra dark, I'm always going to choose the ultra dark. First of all, it's just darker, and I want a dark tan. If I'm going to apply a tanner, I want it to be tan, you know? So I always choose ultra dark. The 2-hour express is just in the dark shade, and I don't really agree with the 2-hour thing. I just think that I have tried it, and I don't know, just after 2 hours, I just don't feel like it really sunk into my skin like it should have. If you are someone who was like super like in a pinch and you really needed to, maybe this would be a good product for you. But for me, the Loving Tan Ultra Dark Deluxe Bronzing Mousse is my go-to. It lasts for a week or more, is so easy to apply, it's very blendable. Like even if you actually accidentally have a streak, just get your mitt, which I do use the Loving Tan mitt. It's just a velvet mitt, which I really prefer. So even if you have a little streak, I just rub it in with my mitt and it goes away really easily. Like it's so easy to blend. I never have streaks on me. I never, like you can see my hands right now from doing Loving Tan. I mean, they look like there's nothing wrong with them. So I have no marks on me at all from Loving Tan. It just looks so natural, and it's very easy for beginners, but it's also advanced enough to make like people who are very advanced in self-tanning love it as well. So we're gonna start with Loving Tan. I'm just gonna take that little bit and apply it right here to my leg. Loving Tan, which compared to the other two seems to have more of a red undertone. I'm gonna sleep with this for
about 8 hours, and then we'll get up, rinse it off, and I will show you guys what they all look like then. Okay, so here are the tanners after I rinsed them off in the shower. I think they all still look pretty good, but the Saint Tropez definitely faded the most. Second, the Loving Tan, and lastly, the Bondi Sands. I've always loved Loving Tan, but I didn't ever realize how red toned it was compared to the others.
The next most expensive self tanner I will talk about is by Saint Tropez. And this was the very first self-tanning mousse that I ever tried. And I believe it might have been even like the first brand, at least to like come to Sephora and things like that. So I'm pretty sure probably a lot of you have tried Saint Tropez. And I've actually turned a lot of my friends on to Saint Tropez because it is a more affordable, it's more affordable than Loving Tan. And I do think that it is a really great product. I mean, it gives you a nice tan. Again, it has like a pretty natural undertone. It's not gonna be too orange. It's kind of like that same green tint to it. This one, again, is super easy to apply. Oh, I forgot prices, by the way. They have really weird pricing. It's just not consistent. So, this product is the Classic Bronzing Mousse from Saint Tropez, and this retails for $42 per 8 ounces. But if you just get the 4 ounces, it is $32. So you're way better off just getting the 8 ounces because you're paying $10 more for 4 extra ounces that you are originally paying $32 for. But if you get the dark, so they actually came out with a dark version, which I don't think that I've tried. If so, I don't have it here with me. But that product is $44 for 6.7 ounces. So it's kind of leaning more towards the Loving Tan side of pricing. If you're gonna pay that much, I would just go with Loving Tan. But if it's a convenience thing and you just see Saint Tropez out, I do think it is a pretty good product. I just think their pricing is a little weird. Like, why? And Saint Tropez is always coming out with new products, new ideas, and things like that. So I love a lot of their other products as well. For me, it's just not quite as dark as Loving Tan or Bondi Sands that I will talk about in a minute. If you don't need something as quite as dark and you want to save a little bit more money, then maybe Saint Tropez is for you.
All right, next we're gonna do Saint Tropez, and I'm actually going to try to do this one above that. So you can automatically see the Saint Tropez right here has a little bit more of like an olivey tone. This has more of like a reddish olive tone. Here is the final thing after rinsing after 8 hours. Honestly, the Saint Tropez still looks pretty good. I've always liked the Saint Tropez, even when everyone was like, oh, Loving Tan. I was like, yes, it's good, it's darker, but Saint Tropez is still a really good option.
Next on our list is Bondi Sands, and this is the most recent, I guess, tanner that I've picked up, except for the last one that I will show you, and I really love this. I think that it is a great self tanner. So basically I heard amazing things about this. Like, I heard people being like, I love this way more than Loving Tan, like this is the best. And I will say I can see why. It is a really great product. So this is the Australian Tan brand. I got mine in the Ultra Dark. This is another brand that has a lot of amazing products. First, let's talk about prices, and the prices are really what makes this brand stand out. So this is a 7-ounce bottle of self-tanning foam, whatever, and it retails for only $26 US. So that's a pretty dang good price. I mean, compared to $40 for 4 ounces on Loving Tan, you're basically getting almost double for almost half the price. So as far as value goes, Bondi Sands is definitely your best bet. I mean, you're getting a lot of product for a very low price. Let's talk about the reasons why I still am kind of leaning more towards Loving Tan. This one is probably the darkest self-tanner that I have. Over Loving Tan, it's probably darker, but it has an extremely green undertone. So it's very, very green, which again makes for a very natural looking tan. So that's a good thing. But it's just a little alarming at first when you put it on. You're kind of like, whoa, that's green. But don't worry, it's not like you're gonna come out looking green. Not quite as warm as Loving Tan. So again, that's just a preference thing. see what your undertones for your skin are and maybe what complements that best. But the only thing that I will say about this, I don't feel like it lasts quite as long as my Loving Tan. I feel like this one lasted almost a week, not quite, whereas my Loving Tan lasts for at least a week, sometimes longer if I'm really applying moisturizers and all of those things like that. So this one I feel like doesn't last quite as long, and it transfers to my sheets pretty easily. And not that this really matters, but the way it transferred onto my sheets was really weird. In some spots it would be like red, and then in some it would be like green. I don't know, it was just kind of strange the way it transferred. And I was wearing long pants and a short sleeve shirt. It doesn't really bother me because I can just wash my sheets. And then the only other thing that I will say about this product is that it is not nearly as easy to apply as Saint Tropez or especially Loving Tan. So for this one, I really had to be careful where I apply things and to really rub it in fast, because if you don't, it dries and then it can look really streaky. So I did have a little bit harder of a time like getting this on my back and just making sure everything was super blended in. If you have any dry patches at all, this will cling to it. So just really be careful with that. I feel like this is something that is more for like experts in the tanning. If you are someone who tans often and you're just looking to try out a new product, this one might be good for you. But if you are a beginner, ooh, be careful with this product. Great value, but in my opinion, there's just a few little things that make me not grab it as often as my Loving Tan. That's my opinion on those two.
Okay, next is the Bondi Sands. Which already appears extremely dark. The Bondi Sands is still looking pretty dark and very, very natural. Different undertones. This one's more yellow. This one's more red, this one's more green.
And the last brand that I have to talk about today is the Tanologist brand from Target. So this is easily the most affordable option. So this retails for $16.99 for 6.7 fluid ounces, which is pretty dang good. I have only tried the tanning water because I've just never tried a tanning water and I just wanted to give it a shot. I will say it's not really that fair of a comparison because I am comparing it to mousses. So just keep that in mind. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because it might be that this is just a tanning water and yeah, I needed to try the mousse. I haven't tried the mousse, so I can't really speak to that. I do think it would be a great option if you are someone who really needs a really affordable option. Try out their mousse, because this product wasn't bad at all. This did have a little subtle change in my comparison video. You will see I did have a little bit of patch right where I sprayed the water, but it wasn't nearly as noticeable as the mousses on my other leg. I've never used a tanning water, so I don't know how subtle or like intense they are supposed to be. I do think the concept is like kind of cool but kind of scary, because if you don't really rub in the water all the way, then it could end up being really, really streaky, because it is transparent. And that's the thing about products like this. It's like, because it's transparent and it doesn't have those bronzers in it like the mousses do, it's really hard to see where you're putting it. So that could be an issue potentially. And this product says that you can shower 1 to 4 hours after you apply it. So that's pretty cool. From my experience, I would say that this is just more for a very subtle tan. So if you just wanted like a little bit of extra color right before you were going to an event and you had to shower in a few hours, maybe you just spray this all over, rub it in with a little tanning mitt like the Loving Tan one I showed you, and boom, you are good to go after you shower. You just have a nice little glow. But for now, those are my thoughts on the Tanologist Express Tan Self Tan Water in Dark.
So now we are going to use the Tanologist water. So I'm going to do it really close, of course, for the purposes of this video. Can't really tell much of anything. You can see a little bit right here of the tanning water.
Okay, so those are all of the tanning products that I had to share with you guys today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you have tried any of these, let me know what you guys think down below and what your favorite tanning product is. But yeah, so basically the consensus is best value would probably be Bondi Sands, and best overall, in my opinion, would probably be Loving Tan. So those are my two kind of favorites from the products that I shared with you today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys supporting me so that I can continue to make these videos. I will talk to you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.
something magical.